Well, hello family and friends. It's been a while since I've done a video. Couldn't really come up with any interesting subjects. This COVID stuff and some other crap that's been going on. Haven't done much traveling lately. Looking forward to doing some here shortly. But anyway, so I was going through my hard drive, looking at some stuff and doing some backups. And then I ran into the subdirectory in which when I had was bitten by the ancestry.com bug and got into that pretty deeply for a while. Anyway, so I figured, this would be a good video to put out, and then hopefully drag in my other members of the family, all of us, and learning some more about our ancestry and our history, our genealogy, just to see how many aunts and uncles and cousins and where we are, where we came from, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, if anybody has any additions to this, corrections, questions, please leave comments below. Beautiful thing about the YouTube channels and stuff is that all my family can watch it. So there's one place where to get all the information. And then when you leave comments down below, then everybody else can also see your comments and we can go from there. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, it was a while, and I'm going to put out all the information I have on our genealogy and history, and hopefully some of you will start getting interested. We'll do some more questions, and we'll go from there. So start at the beginning. Anyway, when we were kids, Mom really wasn't too much. Well, okay, I'm going to be bouncing around a lot randomly, so if I get somebody confused again, leave a comment. So this, where I'm starting at on my ancestry is my family, starting with my mom and my dad. So my mom, of course, Goodyear side, my dad, the Ellis side. And then it explodes from there, believe me. So anyway, again, when we were younger, Mom wasn't really too much into talking about history and ancestry and none of it. I mean, I know we had uncles, and it was just the tight ones of my mom's brothers and sisters, and some of the Hendersons, and I'll be getting deeper into that here shortly. So, but Mom really wasn't too much talking about a lot of our ancestry and genealogy, so really didn't get too much from them. Now, Dad, on the other hand, Dad was hilarious. What he used to do, sometimes we'd be on a long trip or in the car or whatever. Dad liked to do his car trips. And then sometimes he'd go on a rant about different parts of the Ellis history, the ancestry. But the thing about it is, it was sort of kind of jokingly. So we really didn't know what was real, what was wrong, false, what was a joke. We didn't really know, because he's always laughing and kidding, cutting up about all of it. And I admit, he's talking to some very young kids anyway, so some of the things he told us, like, yeah, right, sure, Dad, really. So anyway, the things that on that one particularly I want to bring up. Now remember, I'm talking about younger, when we were younger. Anyway, some of the things Dad would bring up was first of all that he did have another brother and another sister. I verified that to be true. That is true. He also brought up that the Ellis family is the founding family of Marion County, Kentucky, and Lebanon, Kentucky, and the city of Ellisburg, Kentucky was found and named from Richard Ellis, a great-great-grandfather. Okay, I verified that story. That's 100% correct. The next story was that we're related somehow to Cherokee Indian tribe. Now, I haven't been able to verify that yet. I've seen some hints of it, but not enough to really say, yeah, okay, we're part Cherokee Indian. So I'm still looking into that one. So, and then the last story, one of the later ones that Dad used to talk about from time to time, which again, as soon as he brought it up, we would start to laugh, so I guess he just shut up. But supposedly we're related to Abraham Lincoln. Are we? I don't know. But supposedly he's a far cousin on the Ellis side. So, and I haven't been able to verify that either. So, anyway, time goes on, and I start getting wrapped up in repairing computers and start my business up, and this ancestry.com is starting to take off big time from different houses, and I start running into it from the customers. So finally I said, oh, okay, I think I'll do it. Well, at this particular time, to join ancestry.com was only $90 for a year, so it wasn't bad. So I was wrapped up on it for a couple years. Now it's much more expensive now. Oh my goodness. It's like $3. Could I? Yeah, but it depends partially on these videos and how much interest I get. And other than that, if my curiosity peaks again, then I want to get into and do some more research. I did a lot of research, but I have a lot more to do, or I can do a lot more. So after that, so I said, okay, so I paid my $90 and I joined ancestry.com. Oh my goodness. Be careful. If you have any interest in your family, you're interested in that ancestry and that kind of stuff, this can really be a bad habit. Man, I was on this computer on ancestry.com sometime for 6, 8, 10 hours. I think I joined for like 2 years, 2 or 3 years. And then unfortunately, life kicked in and I had to let it lapse and had other things to do. So anyway, so there's a lot of stuff on Ancestry, a lot of stuff, and there's a heck of a lot more. So for Ancestry.com, and this is for information for my family also, as I'm going over this video, anybody who has any interests or curiosity about their family or part of their ancestry, here's how Ancestry.com works. Okay, number one, if you want to do a search. So to start a search, the information that Ancestry.com needs to do a genealogy search is, okay, full name, first, middle initial, last, and suffix, junior, senior, whatever. Second, date of birth. Third, place of birth. And if they've passed, then they want date of passing and where the person was buried at. The more information you give Ancestry, the closer you can go in and the more thorough, accurate search you can do. So if you want to give me some ideas, remember, the more information you give me, the better. I mean, if you just come up and say, yeah, I think his name is Joe Johnson, I think he was born in 1974, no. There's hundreds of thousands of Joe Johnsons born in 1974, so it ain't going to work. The more information I got, the better the track, the more accurate the track, and the more 100% I can tell, yeah, this is your family. So again, full name, first name, last name, middle name, and then the suffix, prefix, suffix. Date of birth, place of birth, if they've passed, date of passing, and where they're buried at, and I can do a search. Okay. When you start, and then the thing about that, when you join Ancestries.com and you do your search, their program, their artificial intelligence, AI, is always watching you, what you're doing to help you out in your search. You're not doing it just by yourself. They're helping you out as much as they can. And believe me, they help a lot. So, they've got this thing called Leaves on Ancestry.com. So as you're doing your search and putting in your information of yourself, your brothers and sisters, and your mom and dad, it starts kicking up on this, and it starts seeing, well, maybe this might be your grandfather, and maybe this might be your great-grandfather, and this might be one of your grandchildren, and they start doing this, and then you can go back there and take a look at it. And what it is, it also starts creating this tree, which you got to be careful of That's why I'm talking about this, the amount of information you get. So you start to put this and say, oh yeah, this is part of my tree, and you start creating this ancestry tree. And that's where sometimes if you end up with the wrong one, saying, darn, that's the wrong James Ellis, you got to delete all that, and that's a pain in the rear. So do your research correctly, and I learned that the hard way many times. There's a couple times I had to start all over again. So anyway, so it starts giving you all this information, you research this, and if it is part of your tree, what you can do is you can click on that and add that to your tree. So now your tree starts getting more and more limbs and goes out structure, and you start learning more about it. The information ancestry.com gives you. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Like I said, you can, when you tap in a name, like say my name, a lot of times it'll come up and says, oh yeah, there it is. Oh, by the way, did you know that this is his wife and he's got this many kids and his kid's name is that. So now that's also adding to your tree and giving you some more information, which is fascinating. Another thing it kicks out on you is pictures. So now it'll say, by the way, this is a picture of Richard Ellis in 1752. Oh, that's cool. And you can download that on your hard drive. So I have an external drive just for that because the data is huge. I've got gigabytes of data. Okay, so information, pictures. It'll also do census bureaus. So if any of your family members was on a census, it'll come up and say, oh, by the way, and it'll kick up that census form, and you see everything that your ancestor did and how they filled out for that census, and all the stuff you can download. It also does obituaries. If there's any news articles or magazine articles or anything on that, it'll kick that out for you, so you can download all that. Obituaries, anything military, DD-214s, anything to do with that, it'll come up. It'll tell you if they're, it'll come up and tell you, oh, by the way, did you know that he was in the Army or the Navy and he went at such and such a date and he was discharged on such and such a date? It'll kick all that out too. So that's it. That's from just inputting the information. Okay. Another thing it does is Ancestry, while it's watching you doing your thing, Ancestry.com comes up and says, it looks to see if anybody else in the entire world is going through an ancestry tree that's related to you. So you'll get these emails from time to time and say, hey, did you know that Gertrude Ellis out of such and such Kentucky has got one too? And they'll allow you to get in contact with that person, and you can trade back and forth. And if you want to, you find out it's accurate, you can trade information, or you could merge ancestry trees. So say, for example, she's got a lot of stuff that you didn't have, and it's really cool and it's accurate. You can merge hers into yours. Also, on Ancestry.com, it'll go, it'll even allow you, it'll, through Ancestry.com, and say, do you want to contact this person? So you say, yeah, and you can send them an email, at first because of privacy. It'll go through Ancestry.com. So the next time that other person comes up and reads their emails, they'll get a notification that they got an email from Ancestry.com, and they can get on and read it, and you can get in contact with them. I've gotten in contact with probably, through Ancestry.com, I'd say about 30, all the way as far as England. And again, that's the Ellis family, and that's part of that one. So you get those also. So you got the information you did, the leaves that it kicks out, and then it starts giving you information from other people who's doing the same search you are. And you get to meet a lot of people. Really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, so that's through Ancestry. So now let's get to get up to the tree itself. So based on the stories from Dad, I really aimed in on the Ellis side at first for a while. And based on the information I have on that, that's going to be a different video all its own. There's a lot of stuff on the Ellises, okay, and cousins and aunts and uncles. Okay, then there's my mother's side, the Goodyears. Now I don't know why. Well, part of it's my fault because I really didn't delve deeply into it, but I did a little bit. But then I ended up going back to the Ellises. But I don't have anywhere near as much on my mom's side as my dad's side. So this is the interesting part. So what I'll do now, since I have less on it, I'll go over the information I have so far on my mother's side of the family, and then I'm reaching out to all of you that if you have anything to talk about, correct, or add to it, please, you can get a hold of me through Facebook, through leave a message on this video, and if you want to, I'll give you my email address or I'll give you my phone number, and then we'll go from there. Like I said, it's possible. I mean, if I get some other interest, or if my interest peaks, I might go ahead and spend the money and get back into it again. We'll see what happens. So anyway, so on this video right now, I'm going to go over the Ellises. I mean the Goodyears. So, Goodyears. So we'll talk about my mother, and my mom has 3 brothers and two sisters. So the sisters, there's Aunt Faye and Aunt Gay. And then on the male side, my uncles, there's her brothers of Uncle Jesse, Uncle Raymond, and Uncle Junior, Zebulon Jr. So, going over all my aunts and uncles from that generation of my mom and the brothers and sisters, do a breakdown from, cousins. That was uncles and aunts, now cousins. So, start with Uncle Jesse. There's Aunt Lynn, and then they had children of Tracy, the oldest. Then there was Keith. And there was Chris. So that's with Uncle Jesse. Uncle Raymond first married Phyllis. And I don't exactly know which children came from that. But after divorcing Phyllis, married Christine. And now at that time, between Uncle Raymond and Aunt Christine, I had a total of 12 cousins, 6 boys and 6 girls. Oh my goodness, please, I don't know all of their names. If somebody wants to chime in there and tell me all of them so I can add it onto another video, please do. I remember Barbara, Mark, Matthew, Rose. Boy, isn't that sad. Out of 12. Oh, that's so sad. Anyway, so then we go to Aunt Faye, who married Uncle Lewis, and they had a Lewis Jr. By the way, we went to the Navy together. They had a girl, I can't remember her name because everybody called her Bubbles. Again, chime in, help me out here. So that's for, and then of course, like I said, there was, the oldest was Betty Ann. Then there was Georgie, and there was Bubbles. And of course, it was Lewis. From there, we go to Aunt Gay. Aunt Gay had Rita. Aunt Gay married a Conti and then married my father's brother, Uncle Ronnie. So that's where they got the Contis from, which is Rita, Ruth Ann, and Barbara. And then, of course, we have Rhonda and Robin. And, wait a minute. Oh, I'm getting confused. Yeah, from Aunt Gay's children specifically are Rita, Ruth Ann, and Barbara. Okay, and then when she married Uncle Ronnie, that's when Rhonda and Robin and Tammy came in. So then we go to Uncle Raymond. And for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the woman he married. And I know I got at least one, they had one daughter. Please, again, somebody chime in and tell me the name and if that's all Uncle Junior had. Just one girl. Oh, and I can't remember his wife's name. Oh, that sucks. So, okay, so that's the breakdown of the children, and then their children from there, I will have to ask, you know, Betty Ann and Jeff and all the others. If you want me to include their names and throw it into the family tree and add it onto it, which I would like to, please interject. Anybody familiar with Uncle Junior's? Please let me know. I keep in touch with Uncle Raymond's, the ones that are still with us. Some of them have already passed. Boy, that's sad. They were all younger than me, and I think he's lost 4 out of the 12. That really sucks. And then Betty and I still keep up with. We call each other now, every now and then. Bubbles, not at all. I understand Georgie is passed. Correct me if I'm wrong. And on Uncle Jesse's children, Tracy is in Illinois. She's law enforcement, and she won't talk to anybody. I guess she just hates all the Ellises and the Goodyears combined. I don't know. I've tried numerous times to get in touch with her. One of them has already passed, and the other boy, her other brother, is living with Tracy. So that's my knowledge on that, on the breakdown from there. So let's continue on. And the information I have for my mom's father is, of course, Zebulon Goodyear and Ruth Henderson. Now, I do know that Zebulon was married twice, and my grandma Ruth is the second. He was married and divorced before that. So there's some part of that family that I really need to get into also. So that's part. And I'm going to be throwing whatever information I got on them, particularly pictures. When I mention their name, I'm going to throw the pictures up on there too, so you can see it. Again, please help me to add to the information and correct some information if I'm wrong and so forth. So let's go from there. So from Grandma Ruth, that's where the Hendersons come in. So the Hendersons, I am familiar with and have looked into and verified Uncle Ollie, Uncle Jay, and of course Uncle Jay's wife, Aunt Ann. And then Uncle Ollie, they have a daughter who's Diane, who we were raised up with. Fantastic girl. We had a blast when we were being on 24 Annabelle Street. Wow, many good times. And there's Aunt Ann. So Aunt Ann and Uncle Jay has Michael, Jeffrey, and Sue Ellen. Love the hell out of them. Fantastic. And Aunt Ann was my favorite aunt of all time. Went through a lot of stuff with her, and she was always there. Even when I was in the Navy, when I had some problems with things that were going on in my life, she was always there with a calm voice, straight up, and always made me feel better and helped me straighten things out. Love her to death. So, let me double check I have some additional information on that. Okay, so, not even in the video, am I? The first wife from Zebulon Zebulon Sr. is a Pearl Crane. And then they had some children too. So that's from that side. And then on the Henderson side, somebody else help me out on these things to clarify some of this. Okay, I have a Grover and Clara Henderson, Wayne Henderson. Okay, there's Diane Myers. So that's some of the additional stuff I have on the Hendersons. So please help me out on this thing so I can get some more. If anybody remembers when we were really young, every year all of us used to get together and meet at Mom's grandfather. And I think, I don't know if it was Grandpa Papa's father or Mama Ruth's father. But all of us used to get together there and have a big party and have a Christmas get together. So anybody has information on that, please let me know. So that's really, and unfortunately, sadly enough, that's all I got. I would like to get a little bit deeper because really that doesn't go very far back. I mean, for that part of the family, I'm only, well, back to like West Main, Delaware. That's the early 200s. So like, I really want to go back further and learn more because I know we got more cousins. I know it's got to be more than Goodyear's and Henderson. There's got to be more to it than that. But like I said, you know, like there's also Uncle Zeb's first wife, since Grandma Ruth was the second. So please leave comments down below if you have any questions. I'm going to do a separate video just on the Ellis because, like I said, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as information and what come up when I start getting into you watch the video. A lot of stuff, a lot of things, a lot of people, and a lot of documentation. So that ends this video, and I hope it opened up some curiosity and opened up some questions, and hopefully drew some of our family into the interest of our ancestry. So, love you all, and upcoming Christmas and New Year's holidays. My favorite Halloween come up here next month. This is September 18th, September 19th right now. So, love you all. Please leave me some messages below or go to the leave some messages or let me see. Email me at FIVEOH22, whoops, wrong one. F as in Foxtrot, L as in Lima, the word monster, 2 at hotmail.com. flmonster2 at hotmail.com. And can some of you do me a favor and do some joining? I'm still trying to figure this out. I did the YouTube channel to disseminate information on the family. The YouTube channel set to private, so nobody can see any of these videos or the comments unless you are a friend on me. I have it set to private, and I've got a lot of views.